All right, it's great seeing everybody today. So I thought we'd start off by going over the group presentation script. I just jotted some draft ideas, and I would love to go around and ask everybody how they feel about it and what their ideas are, and then we could talk about next steps. As far as the script goes, we could talk about the flow and what makes the most sense. But I know we talked about using NVC and probably Common Ground. I think goes really well with that. So I think we would have, Audrey as the social worker, introducing the purpose of the meeting. And then, the whole reason we're here is because my teacher, Stevie, said that I'm being very bad in class. So, Stevie, you could write up your script about how bad I am. And then, I looked up some things online about, some of this dissociative, attachment. So I'll get really riled up and just get angry and tell Stevie to shut up and tell me he's a liar and that I hate him. um, and then Dad, that's when you would probably jump in and be, try to reprimand me, and then, Mom defend, and then, that's Audrey when I think we could say, okay, let's start out by, talking about everybody's needs and NVC and get into that. So, um, I'll stop there and let everybody introduce their roles, but that was just my idea. And again, it's so flexible. We could just, everybody take their turn.
Right. And one of my questions is there like a redemption arc in the end? Does everybody come, oh, is there, okay. So when I was thinking in terms of the context of my character as a teacher, the idea makes a whole lot of sense about the teacher kind of miscommunicating or having good intentions, getting frustrated. I mean, I've seen communication is not perfect, so I kind of wanted to see, or I was putting this image in my mind that the teacher would just kind of completely disregard this kid's needs, just not even consider things that are going on at home, other outside factors that are playing a role in how bad Miss Laney had just blew up all of a sudden, and instead just reacted without thinking, not considering any of Miss Laney's needs or maybe some of the things she's going through. And so my question was, is the intention that in the end the social worker is educating just the family, or is this kind of where everybody's going to feel the connection of NVC? Is everybody going to get this understanding, this lesson, and kind of almost like kind of the storybook, children's book in the end everybody kind of learns, or is it just kind of the family's perspective?
I mean, that's
I think the way Laney structured the role play is that everybody is going to have something to take away from the conversation, just based on the structure, right? Because we're all involved in the intervention process. So I'd say yes, unless.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's a process too, that I don't know if we'll come to a conclusion on what's going to happen, but really what's going to happen with Laney. Like, is she going to have to go to counseling?
Okay. Got it.
What were you thinking? Was somebody else trying to say something?
Miss Rosie?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think because the purpose of, I guess, the project is conflict resolution, right? So I would assume in the end there's some sort of not perfect happy ending, but some sort of where everybody has been able to communicate something to each other and they've been heard, I guess, is the way I guess I see it. So
yeah.
Wonderful.
So Audrey, how do you foresee you introducing the purpose of the call, knowing what the scenario is?
So of course I would start off introducing myself and stating the purpose of the meeting, introducing everyone, because that was something that we learned in part of the group stages, was making sure that everybody felt comfortable and giving everybody a chance to kind of express why they felt we were in the meeting, instead of making it the purpose is we're here because. And then after they give me their explanations, then I start off by, I guess providing some type of conflict resolution, stages to kind of see how we can come up with a better end result to get everybody where they need to be at, if that came out right.
Yeah, so Ty, the one that you wrote, I think would actually work well moving that up once Audrey asks us to introduce ourselves and why we're here. I think what the script you wrote would go in really well up there.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that, that's a pretty commonplace, right? That, feels like he's and I didn't mean to be biased by writing it this way, because we all know that there's very few homes out there where both parents don't work, but, just the angle I approached it with, and kind of using working long hours as an excuse for neglecting my child, and, my reason for excessively using alcohol is all tied into the commitments I have outside the home. So I thought that would flow pretty nice, just based on the scenario that we have.
And then Rosie, how would you fall into that, like, given what time?
Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't really get on it right away. I'm like, I don't really know, but I did. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me pull up this. I started writing a couple notes in there. Well, I just wrote in, some notes, some like what I would say, like to defend her up there towards the top, like when you're yelling, Lainey. But then I had thought maybe so after the dad, because we're doing conflict resolution, and the social worker is sort of the mediator. So then I thought after the dad said all of those things, like would the social worker then redirect him and say now, because he's using, at that point, like does the social worker step in, and then does the dad try to say it again without using like jackal language or whatever? So I don't know.
So that's what I'm trying to think, because we only have 20 minutes. And what Audrey said is if she introduces everybody first and everybody goes around and says, why are we here? Do we want to interrupt each other and show conflict at that point? Or do we let everybody go around?
Right.
But then is that finding common ground? Like at what point do we start seeing the behavior? Because I think once the teacher says, well, I'm here because Lainey's so bad in class, and then I jump in and say, shut up, I hate you. Then Ty yells at me and you jump in. Then I thought maybe we would get to Audrey saying, okay, we all need to calm down and talk in nonviolent communication. And then she explains what it is. And then we go around again and try.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
What do you guys think? I mean, I'm throwing some ideas.
No, I like that. I like it. It goes right along with group processes, right? It kind of starts off in the chaos, Soweto community. And, the role of the social worker is to kind of bring everybody back to, why are we here? And if we're going to hear each other out, then we need to allow each other to, voice our opinion and our thoughts. So I think that's great. And then it'll probably be easier to go into the actual lesson or the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish with the entire interaction.
And after watching the stuff on Common Ground, I think we can actually do NVC and Common Ground together.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
We state our need, and then, Stevie and I could be the partners where I was like, I try to listen to what the teacher's trying to communicate and why, and then he listens to me on my side and understanding why I act the way I do. Stevie, how are you with that scenario?
Yeah, I don't know, the teacher's role that I see in my head is so contrary to who I am. So I'm going to have to just give an Oscar performance here. But yeah.
Gotta search for your inner jackal, Stevie.
I was like, who is this guy? I mean, this is like a true challenge, like a true transformation of an actor. But yes, no, I like, it's just funny is that the teacher seems to be setting all the bad stuff in motion, but I'm happy to take Yeah.
You're the one that called social services on me.
Well, yeah, no, I was the one who said, what a bad kid Miss Laney is, and then all of a sudden I've just ruined the home life, so I apologize in advance. But yes, I like the idea of it. I think it's, the part about I was trying to think during the hypothetical counseling session we have, and again, maybe I'm thinking in too many angles, so please just stop me if I am. We're just trying to get this thing done and really good. But I was thinking, are we going to address things like, Ty as the dad, as this violent alcoholic? Is that going to be a factor in the, working with, in the nonviolent communication? Because some of the nonviolent communication is body language, just kind of presence, right? Attunement and things like that. And is that going to come into play when the social worker interacts with parents and the kid? It's like addressing, hey, Dad, how are you? Are you drinking a lot? Just kind of showing up, not really being attuned to what your wife or what your kid is saying to you, have the signs. Is that going to play a role, or are we just kind of like putting that to the wayside and just dealing with the kid for now?
It's definitely going to come into play, right, Ty? I mean, because that's why I'm acting out, is because the way my parents are acting at home. And
yeah, and I think the violent alcoholic thing, whether me being violent comes out in the discussion or not, it's a part of the background story, right? So I think because we only have 20 minutes, the most important thing is demonstrating the MVC and the common ground. So however we get to that is how we get to it. It's like this, like Stevie, I know you're concerned about the role that you have to play as the teacher, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're a jackal personality. It's just jackal language. And I'll give you an example. I had a meeting with my son's teacher, my 14-year-old, and he mentioned to me 3 to 5 times about how he had Josh's older sister 4 years ago in school, and how they're polar opposites. So I think a lot of his issue is, when he had Jade in school, she was great, and now he has Joshua, and they're different, and he's having a hard time understanding that they're two totally different kids. And he wasn't necessarily calling Joshua bad. That wasn't the point. He was trying to get across, but he had trouble understanding the differences in personality, but he was really coming from a place of, genuine concern. It wasn't that he was trying to be mean or down talk Josh. So I wouldn't get too caught up in, the character piece of it, more or less just like, the content, right? You have a concern that Lainey has been acting out, and you're just trying to get to the root of it. And that doesn't make you a jackal necessarily,
right.
But
it's just that you don't understand you don't understand my background and what's happening at home. You're trying to do what's right for me, and you just are at your wit's end with me because I just yell at you all the time, and I'm very disrespectful to you. And that's why we're here today I'm just very disrespectful. You want to help and understand, but you don't know what's going on at home.
Right. So you're not mad at Lainey.
PowerPoints, huh?
No, I said you're not mad at me necessarily, but you're expressing concern.
No, and that's why I said in my script here, I said, when you correct me in the front of the whole class, I feel embarrassed and misunderstood because of my need to be accepted and safe. Would you be willing to pull me aside and ask if something's bothering me in private instead? Something may have happened at home that morning that I'm reacting to that you don't know and doesn't really have to do with you. So it's not like I'm mad at my teacher. I'm acting out because I just saw my dad beat my mom, and he was screaming at me to get in the car because I was late. So.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you, and I think that's good advice. I can see kind of the angle now. It's like saying, right. It's like saying, oh, I've never seen a kid like Lainey before in my whole 20 years of being a teacher. Yeah, okay, I can see what Ty's saying. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be that guy.
You can just say, she's just very disruptive to the class, and she just hates me.
Yeah, I'm concerned,
Right. Right. Okay. Understood. Thank you. Boy, what if we all become script writers after this?
I don't think so.
We'll make it into a movie.
Yeah. Right.
So does everybody kind of got an idea now so we can go back and each write our script? So Audrey will be like, okay, we're all gathered here today. And then we'll go around the room, and then that's when the fights will start because I'll start acting out on Stevie. Mom will, Dad will yell at me, Mom will jump in,
Yeah.
and then Audrey will try to bring it back.